Hello beautiful people, my name is Vendi, and today, as you will notice after a while, I'm bringing you two things. The first thing is I'm doing the one take challenge, and I was tagged to do it by my friend Olivia from the channel Olivia's Catastrophe, whose video I'll have linked in the description box below. And the second thing that I'm going to be doing that I guess won't be as obvious as the one take challenge because you'll have to see little asides like this all the time, is that I'm going to be doing the Heart Eyes book trope tag that was created by Noria from the channel Noria Reads. I was also tagged to do it by Noria, so I'm really excited about that. Oh, this is a little harder than I thought it would be. Anyway, I'm got my notes, so I'm just going to be reading off the prompts and telling you these books and making this as quick and painless as possible because everything about me is awkward, so why shouldn't this be as well? Jesus Christ, get it together, Vendi. Okay, the first prompt of this tag is found family. So for this, you pick a book with unrelated characters who have various backgrounds, who consider each other their family. And for this, I have to say, Safi and Isolde, two best friends from Susan Dennard's Truth Witch series. They're just so great. Safi and Isolde couldn't come from more different backgrounds. Isolde belongs to this sort of nomadic group of people called the Medenzi, her family name is Medenzi, so it might be accurate, but that's not what they really are. They're called the Nomatzi. And Safia is born to the Von Hastrel family, so she is basically a noble woman of this place called Kartora. They couldn't be more different, but they love each other greatly, and they're just beautiful platonic soulmates. Actually, I mean, like, having read all of the prompts and watching Noria's video, I realized that Truth Witch in one way or another fits most of these prompts, which is just one of the many reasons that I love this book series. So if you haven't yet, maybe check it out. I'm not sure how much post-production you're allowed to do during the one take tag, but like maybe in the comments or something of the video, like pin a thing where I'm like, hey, this is the number of things that Truth Witch fits. Or I'll just like mention it because apparently I can't stop talking. Jesus. This is fine. I'm fine. Prompt number 2, it's always been you. Pick a book where two characters have had a relationship that you feel like is inevitable from the start, and for that, I have to say Laszlo and Sarai from... It's great that you're doing that, people on the street. I have to say Laszlo and Sarai from Laini Taylor's Strange the Dreamer duology. Laszlo Strange is a dreamer. Sarai is the muse of nightmares. There's something about them, this beautiful duality that kind of just makes them feel like they couldn't have not ended up together, and it's really sweet. I enjoyed their relationship.
Ooh, please say. Nice. Okay.
Number three is forced, no. Prompt number 3 is forced proximity. So pick a book where two characters who absolutely can't stand each other are forced to share a bed, a workspace, just be together, or are forced to work together in some way. For this, I am choosing Darrow and Mustang from the Red Rising trilogy. This is sort of more of their dynamic in the first book before they've gotten to know each other. But I don't know, I really love it when the two people who you're rooting for to get together in a romantic way kind of butt heads at first. And so I actually really like their relationship, despite the fact that Mustang wasn't really fleshed out as a character all that much in book 1. I like their dynamic as it moved on, especially in Golden Sun.
See who can stand up. Be really nice if all of them did. Okay. Okay.
Prompt number 4 is fake dating, and for this you have to pick a book where obviously fake dating happens. So for this one, I actually chose, I may be in cheating for this prompt because I chose, and it's a bit of a spoiler for Evelyn Hugo, so if you haven't read it, maybe like mute it while the book is up and on screen. I chose Evelyn and Harry from The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. They are both queer, and they love each other in a very platonic way, but they are fake dating to sort of protect themselves and each other from the scrutiny of Hollywood. So it's a little bit sad, and it's not fake dating turns into real romance, but it is two people who love each other pretending to do a thing to take care of themselves. And homophobia is real shitty, guys, in case that wasn't immediately evident. But I think that the way that these two went about protecting their queer selves when every part of their identity was sort of just put on display for people was really beautiful, and the love they have, though it's not romantic, is still just wonderful.
because I didn't mention it. Truth, which works for the inevitable pairing, that would be Safi and Isolde. They are sort of chosen ones for this world, and the people who can't stand each other, that's Isolde and Aeduan. That's an actual romantic ship. I think the first romantic ship of the Truth Witch variety that I ship like crazy. There's a whole bunch of it in Wind Witch, which is the second book, where they're just sort of together and pissed off at each other, and I love it so much. Okay.
Prompt number 5 is Grumpy Hearts Soft. So basically what this one means is pick a book where a grumpy character is really soft for like the sunshiny, wonderful sweetheart character. And again, I'm not going to be doing it's not Rush Hour. Why are you like this? Again, I'm not going to be doing a romantic relationship. I'm going to be doing a sibling one. For this, I chose Nesta and Elaine Archeron. Nesta is widely considered by readers of the Avatar trilogy to be kind of a butthead. And Elaine is like a soft, sunshine, like pastel princess. And Nessa doesn't like anyone, but she would go to the ends of the world for her sister Elaine. And that kind of reminds me of my relationship with my siblings. I would kill for them, die for them, bury bodies for them. It doesn't matter. So this particular relationship, more so than I think any romantic one, means a whole lot to me in these books, and I think it's perfect for this prompt.
Please don't do the dominoes thing. If you can't stand. Great, okay. We'll stack you. We'll let you guys stand because you're doing just fine. Yeah, that's not bad. We're fine. Okay.
Prompt number 6, Enemies to Lovers. Pick a book where two characters start off disliking each other, but eventually fall in love. And this one, if you enjoy Disney movies, it'll kind of make more sense. For this one, I chose Mulan and Li Shang from Reflection by Elizabeth Lim. This is a sort of retelling / alternate universe telling of the story of Mulan, as it was sort of Disney-fied, as you can probably tell by the cover of this book. I really love the whole I'll make a man out of you scene in the Mulan film, because bisexual Li Shang is everything to me. But I really like how in trying to fill like his father's footsteps, he was kind of being a butthead, and Mulan is like, hey, you're kind of a butthead, but she's still trying to like do her best, and he's just like being mean to her anyway. And then in the end, she's just like, you know what? Screw you. I'm gonna succeed at your stupid tasks, and I'm gonna be amazing, and just to spite you. And I love that. So I would definitely say that the two of them are perhaps not enemies to lovers, maybe it's more like rivals to lovers, but honestly, I consider that a little bit better because enemies to lovers is often really problematic for me. Like, there's like abuse, and now I think you're hot, so let's get together. I'm not a big fan of that. I am a fan of, hey, we don't get along and we bicker, and like, there's always some like unresolved sexual tension there, and then we realize that our differences are lesser than our similarities, and we actually care for each other very deeply. So I think Mulan and Li Shang are an excellent representation of what I interpret enemies to lovers to be when it's at its best. That was not as uneloquent as I thought it might be. Okay, we're in, I bet the roundabout's the halfway points. Okay, prompt number 7, opposites attract. Pick a book where two people of very contrasting backgrounds or beliefs or circumstances fall for each other. And I love this trope, and I love the book that I'm choosing for it. It is Tobias and Layla from The Savior's Champion. Layla is, again, spoilers for the book, so I guess mute it until I put the book down. Layla is literally the savior of this world. She is sort of like a goddess queen figurehead that has like a magical power that keeps like the earth fertile and like water flowing and not like rancid. And Tobias is just like a rando farmhand, and they fall in love, and it's really fucking good because both of them perfectly complement one another, and neither of them take each other's shit, and they're just so soft for each other, and it's really good. If you like the opposites attract trope, I'd give this one a shot. It's just, I'm fully flailing. Like, I can't even explain how much I love this book in a semi-eloquent way, so just like take my word for it, and if you don't want to take my word for it, please read it.
It's so McFriggin good. What's not good is my ability. Jesus Christ. 2. Stand up my books. Okay, please.
The next prompt is prompt number 8, and it is chosen one. You know the drill. Pick a character who's destined to save the world. And for this one, I chose Simon Snow from Rainbow Rowell's Carry On, who is like the worst chosen one in the world. He's destined to save the world, but he doesn't really have full control over his power. And so things just don't go too well for him. And I just think that this is like a really interesting interpretation of the chosen one trope, where Rainbow Rowell kind of turned it on its head. I'm very excited for Wayward Son to come out, because I'm very excited to see what my beautiful disaster by son is going to get up to in book 2. Trying to keep it spoiler free because I can't edit stuff out for this video. Okay, prompt number 9 is gender bender. Pick a book where a traditional tale is given sort of like a gender bent spin. Now I haven't gender bent spin. I know English, I promise. For this, I chose Once and Future, which is a retelling of Arthurian legend by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. In it, Arthur's a girl. Merlin, I think, is just a genderless monster, which is everything I want to be in life. Also, he's a shitty teen, which is just ideal for the Merlin story. I'm very excited to read this, especially because the second book is coming out relatively soon, because gay King Arthur in space is, well, it's really just everything I could ever want in a story, I think. Prompt number 10, hurt reveals true feelings. So pick a book where a character gets hurt, and then that causes another character who until that point has pretended not to care about the first character. It causes them to lose their friggin' mind and like reveal their true feelings about that character. And we're gonna go straight back to my friends Isolde and Adawan, because there's a scene in this book. Perhaps it is the scene that's sort of depicted in this really fun graphic that I got for pre-ordering, where one of them is harmed and the other one's true feelings kind of jump out. And it's everything I could have ever wanted in a book. This is, just please read this series, guys. Oh my God. I've convinced a couple people to read it already, but I need to get more because everyone should read it. It's so good. Okay, prompt number 11, AI is a crapshoot. That one's also pretty self-explanatory. So it's a book where robots or like sentient computers or AI in any other form, they go haywire and they turn against their captors. And I've picked what I imagine will be the most popular one for this prompt, and that is Aiden from Illuminae. Fun fact, I read this earlier this year, and I still sometimes think about the line, where is it? Am I not merciful? There's no chance in hell I'm gonna find it, just flipping through like this. Aiden scares me. I'm not often scared of AI, but I'm very afraid of Aiden, at least how he was in Illuminae. Oh my God, I still haven't read Obsidio, so I don't know what kind of a role he'll have there. But in this one, real scary, really enjoyable to read, but real scary. Maybe it's because I read it predominantly at nighttime while the house was empty besides me.
Yeah, that's probably my fault. Please no. Close enough, okay.
Prompt number 12 is Draco in leather pants. So pick a book where a villain is sympathetic or loved because they're super hot. Now, I'm not sure if they get too much love, but the Golds from the Red Rising series are like stupid hot. And they're all like terrible people, or at least they uphold a class system which inherently is detrimental to the vast majority of people. And I know what I was reading it, I felt sympathetic towards some of these Golds until I remember like what they stood for. And it was like really scary to me. And I had to be like in my brain, like, okay, do I actually relate to them, or are they just like pretty and relatable? And that's why I've sort of found sympathy for them. It was a time to have to think about that. End of story. They're not really sympathetic. They're pretty bad people, but they're hot as shit. Okay. Ooh, alternatively, Sebastian Morgenstern from the Mortal Instruments Cestology series. Let's never say cestology again. Yeah. So in the second half of the Mortal Instruments 6-book series, Sebastian Morgenstern becomes the main villain, and there's a lot of people who are super sympathetic for him. He attempts to sexually assault his sister and just wants to set the entire world on fire, and people are like, oh, he's so misunderstood, and it's fully just because he's hot. And I will, like, that's a hill I'll die on. Yeah. Number 14, Fallen Hero. Choose a character who became a villain due to tragic circumstances. Now, the character I picked isn't exactly a villain, but it is the eponymous Cruel Prince, Cardan, from obviously the Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black. We really see this more in The Wicked King when Jude, who is our point of view character, so obviously the story is going to be biased, so we like see what she sees. Cardan had what you might call a rough childhood, where he was afraid that his siblings would kill him all the time, and his mom was just like really neglectful, and his dad was kind of abusive too, and he just lived in a world where like cruelty is power, and it's just not a great time to grow up like that. So while he's not a villain technically, I think he has some villainous traits due to some really shitty circumstances. Like, that's growing up in a situation where you're abused is not great. And I think while he could have made better choices, I think he made the ones that he was most empowered to make at the time, which makes me a little more sympathetic toward him than I would have otherwise been, and why I consider his tragic circumstances as sort of acceptable. Not an excuse for shitty behavior, but like understandable, you know?
Actually, we're gonna switch this up. We're gonna put you on top of here, and this here, because we are running out of space. Okay. Oh my god, this one. So,
prompt number 15 is nicknames. Pick a book where characters call each other by nicknames until an emotional or dangerous situation happens, causing them to use each other's real names. So, you guys know I'm soft for Susan Dennard's Truth Witch series. I'm also soft for her Something Strange and Deadly series. This is book 2, A Darkness Strange and Lovely. In it, our protagonist, Eleanor Fitt, is called Empress by this kind of rough and tumble guy with a heart of gold, Daniel Sheridan, and I don't know, like, you get a lot of princess, which I don't really like all that much, and queen is just sort of like an empowering thing, but he uses Empress as like this teasing little, it's like, oh, you're more than a princess, like you rule over more than just a simple kingdom, like nothing but an empire would do for you. And I don't know, every time he calls her by her real name, it makes me so soft. And I will never forgive Susan Dennard for what she did to me at the end of this series.
never. She owns my shit. Like, she could do whatever she wanted. Whatever she writes, I will read it, because it's all so good. Oh, it is just so good. Oh my god. I can't wait till book 4 of the Witch Ones books comes out.
And the final prompt is just a bonus prompt. So I guess Noria here just wants you to find a trope that you enjoy and talk about it. So I went on tvtropes.com, which I'll link in the description box below if you can't think of a trope that you like. It's just got a huge list of them. Not all of them will be relevant for this, but some of them will. And I found 3 that I can choose between because I'm extra like that. And they are Dances and Balls. So basically, just a book where there's like a masquerade and a ball, where there maybe doesn't have to be, but it's there just because aesthetics. Action dress rips. So right before an action scene, if a girl is in like, or I guess a guy, or a non-binary person, anyone who's in a dress, basically just rips it before the action scene takes place and just like ties it off so they can go more effectively kick ass and like run without it tangling in their skirts. And number 3 is gladiator games. Again, like Dances and Balls, it's pretty self-explanatory. And for that, I have to say my current read / my very recent reads, the Nevernight Chronicle by J. Kristoff, because all of them happen in here. And I love it. Oh no, please don't break. I really enjoy this dust jacket. I don't want it to rip.
So we're just gonna put that down gently, and we're just gonna crown the stack with Nevernight, because cosplay doesn't necessarily need to be up there. Yeah, okay. Excellent. Is that all of them? That's all of them. Okay. Wowie, this is a mess from start to finish. Alright.
That is it for my Hard Eyes book trope tag. These are the lovely books I've chosen for the tropes. I doubled up on some. I forgot to mention every time a Truth Witch trope happened in the prompts. I guess I'll tally them up in the little comment section. I'll do like a little pinned comment if you're interested in that. If not, I guess you don't have to read it.
This is fine. I kept my like little OCD tics to a minimum, which is also really nice that I didn't have to do that on camera for a thing that I'm going to share with people.
Overall, this was really, really fun. If you liked either the one take challenge or the trope tag, I will leave the prompts in the description box below. I guess for the one take challenge, it's really self-explanatory. But if you'd like to do the trope challenge, I officially tag you, and I'll officially tag some people in the description box so that they know who they are, because I fully will mess up with the names if I try to do them without having them written down and with like the stress I'm feeling having done this right now.
Okay, now I sign up. That's what I do now. That's what happens at the end of the video. Okay.
If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you like me, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I post bookish content every weekend, and I would love to have you join my little YouTube family that I'm growing. I'm very close to 1K subscribers, and I'm super excited for that because I have a giveaway that I'd like to do. Nope, not time to plug that. We're done. Comment down below what your favorite trope is, and if you've read one of these books and you agree with me about what trope I picked for the book, or you disagree and you think a better book would have fit a better trope, let me know, because I'm always down to talk books with my booktube pals. Obviously, that's what we're here for. But anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this video and getting through it. And I will see you next weekend with a new one. Goodbye.